Hello, Ern and Iso listeners, fans, and subscribers alike. Listen, I know you guys don't normally see us start an episode like this, but I want you to hear the severity and the seriousness in my voice. Burnout is a real thing. Now, for our video viewing fans, I want you to observe my counterpart, my co-host, and my best friend's mannerisms in this video to observe the results of burnout. And for my audio listening fans, I will come back at the end of this short video that we did. We didn't give you a full-length episode this week because of the result of burnout. So I'll come back at the end of this short video to give you a descriptive detail of the effects of burnout on my co-host. Yes, we back at it, y'all. It's the Ern and Iso show. If you don't know now, you know. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all, man. As always, we ask that y'all like, rate, review, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We thank y'all for everything that y'all have done out this point that y'all have gotten us to, all of our success and everything, so forth and so on, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things have been going on, you know what I'm saying, in Philadelphia, if you don't know. For the parents that may not have known, we have issued a ski mask ban. You know what I'm saying? Ski mask ban has been issued in Philadelphia, and I think there's a $250 fine for people that may not want to take your ski mask off at time of being told to. Because I think they'll probably walk up to you, actually take it off before they issue a fine. So just for the parents that if your kids out there, they want to wear their poof shiesties, everything and so forth. Understand that it could be a fine that you may have to pay for that. You know what I'm saying? I know. This is something that you spoke on earlier. Matter of fact, you spoke on this a couple times about, about these kids wearing their masks now. And I guess, like you said, this is just Philadelphia's way of, just implementing, trying to get that to stop.
Yeah, I think they did it in here. I want to say Baltimore and Atlanta.
Atlanta too? Wow, okay.
I think
it's hot as shit in Atlanta. So. If y'all wearing them skis out there, damn, okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I heard those are the cities.
I got you.
If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, man, I kind of seen this coming. But yeah, because some of these people, I understand that what people mean, like, okay, at this point, it's kind of just like a fashion thing to young people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we kind of did that too when we was younger. So it's become like a part of like fashion. You know what I'm saying, since the pandemic kind of like brought that covering your face thing out. But then now it's become like a fashion thing now, and people are just like, all right, we can't. It's the whole stigma behind it. You know what I mean? Somebody having their whole face covered up. A young person, somebody just running around with their whole face covered up. Kind of like, it just scares people. It does, you know what I mean? It kind of just scares people. It makes people, especially older people. And then, people, you're walking around and you're seeing every other person got their whole face covered up. It's the whole, like, not to say that everybody's a criminal, but people, it just plays on people's fear. So I kind of seen this coming. That people were going to like, that eventually they's going to say, yo, listen, y'all can't wear them. You know what I mean? Y'all got y'all faces covered up. You know what I mean? Y'all got y'all faces covered up. We don't know who's who. Security footage, like I said, people already they dress already kind of the same. Some people can't really tell who's who. Y'all just got to take them off. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? It's the whole, you being around all day, every day. Some people just, like I said, it's the whole stigma behind it of thinking they got, is linked to criminal activity. So I kind of seen that coming, that they were just going back, listen, man, y'all can't wear them. Y'all can't wear them. You know what I mean? Y'all scaring people. Y'all walking around with them no matter where you at, out in public. You know what I mean? Public transportation. You're in the mall. You're everywhere with them. And people just, like I said, the whole stigma, put behind it. You know what I mean? Of you might be up to something or you might do something to me. That's not, the whole fear. You know what I'm saying? Remember, this is called the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So it's the Commonwealth of people. You know what I'm saying? What they feel like is best for everybody. And they feel like what's best for everybody here is for y'all to take them goddamn masks off.
You think the timing might be a little off? Only reason I say that, I mean, like, the timing be like, we about to get into the winter months. And you know what I mean? Like, we don't know. In Philadelphia, it's hit and miss if it comes to, like, snowing or something like that. So you think the timing might be, like, a little off?
No, I ain't timing it off. They want them goddamn things off your face. They want them things off your face. They don't care. I mean, they know what they looking at. Know what I'm saying? So that's why people are saying that I mean, in a way it's targeting. Yeah, it's targeting. It is targeting because they're looking for the young person that's walking around with the mask on their face. So it's a certain demographic. Now I mean, not to just say black people, because young black people ain't the only ones wearing the mask.
Right.
Know what I mean? All the young people's wearing the mask, no matter what their nationality is. So really, it's really against young people. So yeah, you just want y'all to take them goddamn masks off. Like I said, scared. Now I mean, people, public safety and all that, people are scared to death. Now I mean, you talk to some people are scared to death that everybody's walking around with a mask on. Like I said, the whole stigma that's connected to it. So, they want y'all to take them goddamn things off. I understand that some people feel like it's wrong or, y'all targeting us. They are. They not just targeting black people, though. It's just young people in general who, trust me, it's a certain demographic, a certain age group of people that they going to see with them at that they are targeting. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it is. It is in a way like, they are looking for, it's like certain people that have them. So yeah, it's not like everybody, because all people don't wear them certain type of masks.
Right.
But some people, not many people wear them joints. Not many people that do wear them. They want y'all to take them off. They looking for the young people. Yeah. Young people that's walking. Everybody, all y'all running around with them masks on. Know what I mean? So really, it's more targeting the young people. It's not everybody that got their face covered up or whatever. It's more certain demographic. Now I mean, looking for the young people that have their, not I mean, that's walking around with the mask on. They want y'all to take them off because that bottom line is y'all putting fear in people out here. So now I mean, that's really what it is. Now I put fear in people.
I think it might put a lot of people in like a vicarious situation though, because you figure like let's say like, a young man walking into my establishment and he got it on, he don't want to take it off. Now I got to call the cops down here. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be a lot of that. A lot of rebellion going on. Because just because you issue the ban for them to stop doing it, we know how these kids is. You think they give a fuck about that? You think they give a fuck about it even if you're like, yo, it's going to be $20 fine? They don't pay for shit. That's what I'm saying. So it's going to be like a lot of rebellion. There's going to be a lot of situations, you know what I mean? Like we spoke off the mic about, you might put a lot of store owners in just situations where they have to, they're going to, it's at their own discretion. Because if you walk into somebody's establishment, it's at their own discretion that they tell you to take it off or not. You know what I mean? But it might be like a Target where like now the security guard got to walk up to you to tell them to take it off. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a lot of situations I think it's going to cause, not to say that the mask ban is going to cause more harm than good. I'm saying like just the mentality of the person that already wear it. Some of them. I'm not going to say all of them. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I mean? On the video, it was weird that it was even a young man up there that was fighting to keep it on. You know what I mean? Shouts out to him. You know what I mean? Because I guess if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. But I mean, the things that we choose to fight for is kind of weird. Because I thought that was kind of odd that he was even there at the hearing to plead his case. You know what I'm saying? About why he want to wear the mask. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, to each his own. I think, you know what I'm saying, this is going to be a lot of unnecessary, you know what I mean, police, you know what I mean, called because a young man don't want to take it off. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't think people got caught. I don't think people gonna call the police and all that. But the police is gonna have to step up and start saying when they see them on, y'all gotta take them off. So that's when the conflict, might come. Because if I own a store, but if I say time I'm a store owner, I might not feel comfortable people coming in there with the mask on. I may not call the cops, but you know what I mean? Deep down, a lot of them people probably don't want people walking in there. You don't want your event coming in the face covered up. Now, but they've been had that rule. People, individual stores, you got to take that. You got to take that off. You gonna come in my store,
right?
You know what I mean? So that right there, hopefully, which I don't see is happening, everything will just be cool and nothing to happen. But somebody's bound to get into an argument with somebody trying to tell them, take that off. With some, a lot of them, they might not take the whole thing off their head when they go in the public store or something like that. But just seeing them walk down the street with it, I could see the cops probably, getting into it with a group of kids, or y'all know y'all not supposed to have them, take them off, and somebody mouthing off to a cop, and then now that's an issue, and it's like, it's a recipe for disaster. I understand why the city is doing it. I get it, but it's gonna be people who just, I'm not taking it off. I don't care who's saying. I don't care if you're a cop. And that's when it happened. And that's when something happened. You know what I mean? So I could just see it though. I could see somebody, I don't know if it's gonna be all right, hearing about something happen, like, all right, the cop approached the kids, told them they had to take them off. They went back and forth, or the cop threatened to arrest them, and you never know, hands might get put on somebody's child or something like that, or, you know what I mean? A child might get thrown to the ground and put the handcuffs on him. That's going to happen because some people going to buck. Everybody not going to just do it. Some people are going to buck. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
On both ends. It's going to be a cop that's going to, try to impose his will. You never know. It might be a situation where I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take it off if you don't want to take it off. You know what I mean? Just, I understand. I agree with you. I understand why we did it. Do I think that the people are going to feel safer because it's done? I don't know. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, like it's only in certain, like it's in public places. So you can still put it on and walk down the street. You know what I mean? It's just certain areas that you can't be in. Like, you know what I'm saying? That they trying to, like, ban it. Like, you know what I mean? So who knows how far they extend that out, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to be crazy. I'm kind of glad that you brought that up, right? You're talking about how, like, they like buck up against it. This might take me into like two points that I wanted to ask you. I always go back and listen to like old material that we did, try to see like certain things I could do to like help promote us and put us in certain situations. I know your thing is like you big on infrastructure. That's like so thing, infrastructure, right? And the episode that we did, we was talking about how, a person said that we need like more black owned schools and black owned supermarkets. I was thinking about that, like, if we do have the black owned schools, do you think that would end the issues that we have? Only reason I'm saying that is because, just like you said, the students, the black students, they'll still have the same mindset. So just because we have the black schools, like we already have HBCUs, right? So just because we have the black schools, like we would do now, high schools, elementary schools, middle schools, I don't see the black student changing just because you say like this school is now owned by black people. You know what I'm saying? So like we're calling for things, but I don't see those things that we're calling for fixing problems that we have. You understand what I'm saying? So I just don't see the mindset. The mindset. I found this on the web. The mindset that we have, you know what I'm saying, it will still remain the same. And even you brought up the example of how we already have certain people that have, that have schools. Like the mindset that we have, just because there's a black school in my neighborhood, I don't see that now I'm excited about going to school, or my whole demeanor on school has changed. I'm still, if I don't care, I'm still not gonna care. If I'm gonna cut school, I'm still gonna cut school. If I'm not gonna be engaged in school or care about the curriculum, I'm still gonna be the same student. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is what I'm saying. I think we call for things that we're not even at the point that those things would help us.
I mean, I guess you try to do it with the hopes that if the kids start going to school, that it might change their mindset. They see more black people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Maybe that'll just give them something like, I don't know, I guess, more positive outlook and make them want to go to school to begin with and all the problems, and then maybe feel like somebody, okay, this person, because that person is black, this person relates to me. Because, I mean, in school, when you go to school, majority of your teachers is not black.
True. Right.
You know what I mean?
If any, you might go to school don't have none. Yeah.
So, like, the whole thing of hopefully that'll, like, the whole atmosphere change and it make people more positive about it. And, you know, talking to people that may be able to relate to you, may help you, and overall just trickle down effect. So, I mean, I understand it, but how you going, you know how much money that's going to cost? Like, people be asking for stuff that's like, it's going to be like it's like almost mission impossible. You know what I'm saying? It's almost mission impossible, man. Because it ain't like, okay, we going to get a bunch of black schools. How? We need money. Bottom line is you need money. You need money. Money. People, so we going to have the same problem anyway. Talking about a bunch of stuff that you can't do because you ain't got two nickels to rub together. So people just want to talk about this stuff all day and ain't got two nickels rubbed together. What hospitals we going to get? What schools we going to get? Where's the money coming for all of this? You know what I'm saying? Where is the money coming for all this stuff? I mean, do y'all know, I mean, how many new schools have been built here in Philadelphia? How many new schools? Most of these school buildings, you know how old they are. You can go see pictures. You can go see pictures from 80 years ago. You know what I mean? And that same school is there. 90 years ago. I mean, them school buildings is old, man. When they built a lot of these schools. So you need money to do any of this stuff they trying to do. Everybody's screaming and hollering about what he's doing. Like, where's the money coming from with this? Where is the money coming anyway? People saying build it. How? You ain't got two nickels rubbed together. Why you worried about it? You know what I mean? I don't even get it. I mean, I get it. People just talking and things should be better and we need the hospitals and we need the schools and we need to do. Okay, where's the money to come to buy a school, run the school? Who gonna run the school? You just can't run and if you did have money, you just can't do whatever the hell you want to do. You still gotta get permission from whatever state you in. You can't do whatever you want to do, whether you got money or not. You can't just do whatever you want. You can't just say, I'm gonna build a hospital. No. That's the end of that. Don't give a damn how much money you got. We said you can't build a hospital there. We said you can't build a hospital in this state. We said you can't build a school. We said you can't. What you gonna do? Build it anyway? All they gonna do is come put chains on the goddamn doors and tell you, we gonna arrest your ass. Now, this could be your land. You can build the actual building, the actual physical school on it. But if we say you can't have no school, you can't have no school. Give a damn who you are, what you got. I don't give a damn if you went out there and got goddamn Jay-Z, fucking Michael Jordan, fucking LeBron James, put everybody put their goddamn money together and say we're gonna build a school. And whatever state you put that school in, say nah. That's the end of that. No. That's the end of that any damn way. So where you getting the money from? And even if you did have the money, I mean, we just gotta try to build the community as far as try to repair the family. And hopefully that'll be more of a trickle down effect from starting with the families. And you know, the whole goddamn, it's just a tired argument.
Yeah, hopefully we can get the families
it's just
back.
It's a tired goddamn argument, man. Because I'm like, yo, man, you know how much money you need to try to do the stuff we trying to do? You know what I mean? Like you said, you need infrastructure, man.
Yeah.
So I don't, families, man. Now me try to get the family. Now me try to repair the families, and then we can try to get it from there, man. And then that way they going to, that way they somebody putting it to them that, you know, go to school. So they not like on some like, cause start at home. Like I said, a lot of these people kids don't even know people don't even know if their kids are making it to school or not. Like I said before, just get out of my house, get out of my face.
Right.
So now if that's your attitude, so now you putting that into a kid that they don't even care if I go to school or not. They just want me out the house. They cool with it. They ain't ask me for my report card. You know what I mean? So we just gotta start there, man. I feel like start with the family, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Start with the family.
Hopefully we get to the families, man. Social media got us going crazy, and I mean, we do everything. You know what I'm saying? Because first off, man, to the women that's taping y'all phones to the ceilings, man. It's funny how y'all can do that, but y'all can't change a motherfucking light bulb. Y'all can get all the way up to the ceiling, tape a motherfucking phone to the ceiling, can't change a light bulb or stop that motherfucking smoke detector from beeping in your house non-stop though. You know what I'm saying? But y'all can get the fuck up there to tape a phone to the ceiling. You know what I mean? But no, on my other point, right? Y'all was thinking about this, right? The schools that we do have, the HBCUs, right? In the HBCUs, we care more about the athletics than we do the academics. Like we always worrying about like, yo, we gotta get the athletic departments right. I barely ever hear anybody say anything like we need to get the academics right. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like in the places where we do have these things that you asking for, y'all said y'all want the black schools. We have HBCUs here, but then we get mad like, damn, why such and such left? Because we was building something there. But what's going on with the academics though? Like we worry so much about the athletic programs. Nobody cares about the academic programs for the majority of the students that's going there. Only a handful of students is really going there for the athletics. You know what I'm saying? The majority of the schools, the people that's in there is going there for the academics. So it's like we ask for things. I don't know if we are equipped to maintain if the things that we ask for is going to help us or not. But you know what I mean? Like you said, hopefully it does give us the mindset and the things about that. You know what I'm saying? I know probably like a couple of weeks ago, you wanted to speak on Prime, man. Because if y'all don't know, shout out to Coach Prime will be on the cover. I think he was Sports Illustrated Man of the Year or something like that. Or I don't want to be mistaken. I know something like that. Yeah, I'm saying that he won. Yeah, I mean for what he did in Colorado. A lot of people was upset because they felt as though, yeah, I mean they only won 4 games. He shouldn't have got that honor. A lot of people was, yeah, I mean, actually congratulative in that. You know what I'm saying? I know towards the end of my man Coach Prime, you know what I'm saying, tenure, because you know it's done now. A lot of people that started when he wasn't there when he ended. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people wasn't there when he ended. You know what I'm saying? We talked about the prime effect, and it seemed like right now the prime results is that, you know, remember how we talked before? We talked about how certain parents may look at that and not want to have their kids enrolled in the schools. Like I think so far, like 3 kids decommitted that was supposed to go there. You know what I'm saying? But you know that happens all the time. Kids commit and decommit all the time. But you know what I'm saying? Like he hasn't been garnering the like committees like he wanted. Like I mean, certain people, you know what I'm saying, are going certain places that he thought he was going to get. I think it may be I think a lot of the parents of the students, I think the students is there, but a lot of parents of the students, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of parents live vicariously through their kids, might be straying their kids away from, you know what I mean, Colorado, because I think they may look at it as prime is bigger than the students on the school. You think, or could I be wrong?
Well, first of all, now I mean, let me see. What you say? I think they finished like 4-8 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like 4-8. You know, those men know that they running the marathon, not a sprint. You know what I'm saying? So, they gonna continue to build. And yeah, man, I'm pretty sure that they gonna be all right when recruiting as time go on. Like I said, man, it's they they trying to get that program back to a certain level. It's not gonna happen overnight, but I think he may be dedicated enough to do that. But I mean, as far as that go, if let's say that, a parent, you want what's best. You want what you feel like is best for your child, but at the same time, you want sports. You do understand that you're going somewhere where that man has a name. He's one of the greatest people to ever play football. You know what I mean? He one of the greatest college football players and pro football players. So the whole thing about that is you might be saying something that to your son. It might be somebody's parents saying it to their son like, well, if you go there, you know it's gonna be more about Coach Prime than you.
Mm-hmm.
So that I don't know if that's will be beneficial for I don't know how they thinking. I don't have any kids, but maybe how you just thinking like you might want to go somewhere where it could be more about you.
Right.
Because it's always going to be about Coach Brown.
Yeah.
Not to say, I mean, he may not want it like that. He might think like that, like, yeah, no, I'm the coach. The players got to go out there and play. But as far as, you know, the attention and all that type of stuff, so it might be some parents that say, well, you know, you go there, the world looks at him like he's bigger than the team that he coached. He's not even on the field playing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure some people having them conversations, and that may stop some people from going there, saying, you know what, you right. You know what I mean? But I don't want to go there if this is going to be all about. Some people may be thinking like that. Well, it's going to be all about him if you go there. You know what I mean? His name going to always be bigger than the team because that's how the world look at him.
Right.
So
my thing, all right, I don't mean to cut you off. Was you done? So I want to ask you something else about that, right? Because we all respect prom. We love prom. We do, right? We do. We show up for the games. They do all that. The same people that I watch do this got kids, but don't send their kids to prom. You know what I'm saying?
Who?
Like, it was a game. Marvin Harrison was at. Marvin Harrison ain't send his son there.
How you gonna send his son here?
His son. What you mean send his son there?
What you mean send your son there? Your son gonna go where he want to go.
True, but do you think that the conversation was had to be like, yo, prom over here might be beneficial for you to do this? That's what I'm saying. How many of them same people that you think was at the drink with we partying with prom, like prom, I'm gonna send my son, or I'm gonna have a conversation with my son to try to help you build what you're doing. Because I know you're the best man that you're gonna have his best interests at heart, and so forth and so on. Because I mean, towards the end, we ain't see nobody. All the parties that was at Colorado ceased.
I don't understand what you mean.
I'm saying how it started. The way it started with damn near everybody and their mom was there when it was a circus, you know what I mean, in Colorado. Towards the end of the, you know what I mean, end of the tenure, the season, those same people was gone.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't talking about y'all already know it's bandwagon people. We
True.
that. I'm talking about the whole thing of like the whole recruit thing. Like, no, I mean, you can't make your child go nowhere. At the end of the day, you could be cool with him all you want, but at the same time, is it beneficial for your child? Is it beneficial for your son to go play for him right now and that ain't up and running, or you can go somewhere where it's a well-oiled machine? You understand what I'm saying? Because,
I got you.
Because it's what's beneficial for your child, not you. You may be thinking about, well, if it was me, I would go do it. You know what I mean? No, your child may not want to. Your child may want to go. He may want to went. His son may want to go to Ohio State his whole life, and then he actually good enough to go. I ain't gonna say, man, go with prom. I don't know what conversations had with some of these people that got kids and all that. Some of these kids may have wanted to go to the same. They may want to go to the same college they dad might have went to, or they might have had their own college that they wanted to go to and they just went. So, I mean, they'll be fine, man. Like I said, it's a marathon, not a sprint, man. You know what I'm saying? They'll build that program up. You know what I mean? They will build that program up. You know what I mean? Once they get them players in the trenches right, you know what I'm saying? Once they start getting them big boys, them offensive and defensive line, you know what I mean? They'll come along. Then it's gonna be everybody back on the bandwagon. That's all it's gonna be. Everybody gonna be right back on the bandwagon. That's all.
Hopefully, you know what I mean? Because I fuck with prom. I like prom. I think it might be longer than what people think. Because I mean, even when you get the people in the trenches, Shallow going, so now you need another quarterback. You know what I mean? Travis is gonna be going, so then you gotta get those skilled players again that you had. So it's always gonna be, we may be that one or two players short. Now I'm not gonna say always. You know what I mean? But I think it might be like longer than what people think. A lot of people thinking like 3-4 years. Who knows? It might be longer than that. But as we we don't talk about people. We talk about situations. And a situation happened, and I wanted to ask you about this situation. Situation with T.I. and his son. You know what I'm saying? Where they was arguing about how he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, and his son was arguing the fact that, I'm saying, I'm from the trenches. Why are we so infatuated with being from living a hard life? Like, I got it from the mud. What's the infatuation with that? Because even suburb kids, they come people from fucking New Jersey come to Philadelphia to party?
The oldest story in the book is somebody want the one thing they can't have.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Some people may want, so it's something that's different to them. So, I mean, in the case of that video with T.I. and his son, I don't know everything that happens with them. All we know is when the camera's on. We don't know what's going on when the camera ain't.
Right.
But the whole thing about trenches, some people, I mean, he not the only kid that seemed like he come from a family that's well off, that's doing well, that feel like it's just the one thing that I don't have is I grew up in the street, and that's the one thing I want. I want to be known like I had a rough, or I come from a hood and all of that. He not the only kid that come from that well-off family that ever did that. You know what I mean? It's well off. I mean, the story is not new. It just got caught on camera. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a lot of kids. It's a lot of kids that say stuff like that, and a lot of kids that's like that. They just want the one thing they can't have. So if that's the ability to say, yo, I'm from this hood, or I came up rough and all that, and it did not truly understand. I mean, he'll probably catch on later that, you know, him growing up different was his advantage. I don't know. Sometimes people look at that like it's a disadvantage, and it's some type of advantage of something saying that I'm from this hood or I'm from this block or whatever, but it's really not. You know what I mean? So I think that he'll get it eventually. You know what I mean? And I think that he'll understand that. You know what I mean? That it was. It's a blessing that you ain't gotta really be in those trenches and really think and make decisions that people that are out there in that real position have to think and deal with. You know what I'm saying? Decisions that they have to make. So, I think that he'll get it.
Hey, hopefully so, man. Hopefully so. You know what I'm saying? Ask you some questions, man. We got some questions. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to just do the whole episode of questions. This joint say, Ern and Iso, man. My mom has been recently dating a guy that's my age. We went to high school together. I didn't know him while we were in high school, but we did go to the same high school at the same time. At times he walks around and tries to tell me what to do. How should I deal with this situation? I'm 19 years old.
I don't know what you think, man.
No, I'm gonna say it like this, like, and he said, come on, man, stuffed on this joint. No, like, look, man, your mom gonna do what your mom gonna do. You know what I mean? So you gotta be respectful for that, for that. You know what I mean? For the most part, you know what I'm saying? I would just go to your mom and tell her, like, he don't really need to be walking around here telling me what to do. You know what I'm saying? If you 19 years old, I don't know how old your mom is. Maybe your mom is, you know what I'm saying, in her 40s or something like that, messing with a 19, 20-year-old, you know what I'm saying? That's her business. But, like, I would have a conversation with your mom because he might not be mentally mature for you to have that conversation with him and go to him and be like, yo, don't talk to me like that. And you don't want to offend your mom. You know what I mean? It could go somewhere, you know what I mean, bad, y'all in there fighting and your mom upset at you. You know what I mean? So I would just go to my mom like, Mom, you know what I'm saying? I understand you going to do what you got to do. This is your house. This is your rules. I just ask that, you know what I mean? He don't walk around here telling me what to do like he my dad. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that is what it is, man. Another joint here. We already did that joint before. I don't know why I ain't checked that joint off. It say, man, we already did that joint too. I don't know why I'm not checking these joints off. All right, this is probably something that you already gave advice on. It say, hey Iso, what's the most important lesson you learned about money management?
I'm pretty sure we answered that already.
Yeah, it sounds like something that we already answered before. Hey guys, I'm struggling to make new friends. We already answered that joint before. Why am I not checking these joints off when I do them? All right, this show says, hey guys, what is your advice on dealing with a breakup? Just broke up with somebody from a 3-year relationship. Man, I mean, now's the best time for you to focus on you. You know what I mean? Lock in, get some things straight, man. Hit the gym up. You know what I mean? Make sure you good. And you know what I mean? Don't focus on trying to get to the next person. You know what I mean? Do what you gotta do and let things fall into place. So, this might be a good time for you. You know what I mean? To, reset and get things, you know what I mean, done that you probably haven't, that you've been pushing off, and, you know what I mean, doing what you gotta do.
Break up. I mean, yeah, don't just run into another, relationship. You don't need no rebound, man. Try to figure out what you trying to do. You know what I mean? Try to figure out what you trying to do with your life and all that. And just, you still date and all that and have friends or whatever, but focus on you, and then whatever bad happened in that relationship or it didn't work out, completely let that go and don't take that in, so you don't never take that into your next relationship. Other than that, I really don't even know what to really tell you about that. You know what I mean? Because everybody go at their own pace.
That's for you. Yeah. I mean, you done told him enough. You know what I'm saying? You don't say, hey, Ern and Iso, man, the area that I live in Pittsburgh, majority of the girls feels as though when you first going on a date, it should be a 4-star restaurant. Yeah, I mean, I'm only 20 years old. Majority of the girls don't want McDonald's or Wendy's. How can I deal with this issue? Well, I'm gonna say like this. First and foremost, man, a lot of the stigmas that we doing with dating is like backwards, right? Because I was looking at that joint, you know what I'm saying, when it first came out, that list with women talking about something, this is not the first date. In reality, that is the first date. All those places you name are the first date. I'm not going to start from here and then second date I can take you to Applebee's. We start low and I go high. You know what I mean? So a lot of the things that we do in dating are backwards. Because at the end of the day, the date is for me to get to know you. If on the first date I feel as though this isn't going anywhere, you know what I'm saying, but I already done got you at a restaurant, I'm paying like $500, why we not going to get to a second date? Because, you know what I mean, I done deemed already that there's certain things that you do that, you know what I mean, I don't agree with, certain things that I may do that you don't like. You know what I mean? So we not even going to get to the first date. So the first date ain't, she's just trying to get a meal, you know what I mean, out of me. So, you know what I mean, a lot of those things that was on the first date thing, that thing that's not for first date are. Applebee's, yes, that is a first date. When you dating somebody, it's just me getting to know you. If we just gonna ride around in the car, around the city all day talking, that could be the date. The date is not me taking you out to fucking feed your belly because you're hungry. So I'm just gonna say like this, like, don't be forced to do something that you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't getting no free meal out of me. You know what I mean? So I would advise you that, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. Take this time out to focus on you. Don't focus on, you know what I mean, a woman to try to go on a date, man. Look, you'll find the right person when the right time comes. Yes. Now, for those of you that watch the video, you can see the constant leaning back of the head, the leaning back in the chair, the slow to gather his thoughts. You know, that those weren't pauses in the video. Those weren't pauses in the video. It was the slowness to gather his thoughts at the time. Listen, as you know, the Ern and Iso podcasters, me and my co-host, you know, my business partner, we are the content kings, and it takes a lot to give you this content. You know, we're coming up on the year in 2024. Within this year, we have surpassed many podcasters within the hours and the detail of the content that we have given you. Listen, I want you guys to understand just how real burnout is. Now, burnout is a state of chronic physical and emotional exhaustion, often accompanied by feelings of cynicism, detachment, and a sense of reduced accomplishments. It typically results from prolonged exposure to chronic stressors, especially in work or caregiving environments. Listen, Iso is burnt out, you guys. So what we're going to do is, as you know, in the details, we do leave the Cash App. I ask that you take the time and donate to Iso so that we can have him, you know, visit his local strip club of choice. within you doing that, it not only relieves his burnout, but he often is in a position to help a mother, maybe who has a child, or is trying to further their education. Listen, y'all. You know what I mean? It's the Ern and Iso show, man. We love y'all. My man was just tired, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's like that, man. We the content king, so we're going to give y'all the content the way we do. But if you want to hit that cash app for my man, hit that cash app anyway. Listen, we coming up on the end of 2024, man. You know what I mean? Me and Big Bro, we always thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. I'm pretty sure we'll do a year-ending episode, but you know what I mean? We appreciate y'all. We thank y'all for everything. Look, we ain't stopping. We're only getting bigger and better. You know what I mean? Bigger and better plans, bigger and better things. We thank y'all again. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let Big Bro get some rest so, you know what I mean, he can give y'all the content the only way that he know how. The angles, you know what I mean, the deep thought out, you know what I'm saying, deliveries. It is what it is. But until next time, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's the Ern and Iso show, y'all. If you don't know, now you know. We out of here. Peace.